The one and only Lord Negal is finally back from the war. Mayfei not only fed Leon, but also prepared new clothes for him. Last time, Mayfei and Leon had a lot of fun together. But Leon almost lost consciousness. He felt like he was floating. He no longer felt pain. All that was left was pleasure. But Leon didn't give up. It was all worth it. After who knows how long, Leon woke up alone on the couch. A sharp pain shot through his head. Damn it, it's all Mayfei's fault for making me take too many digestive tablets. I can't even remember what happened. But the shining earring told Leon the details didn't matter. He'd achieved his goal. Leon planned to just leave, but his whole body ached. Though Mayfei had already cleaned him up, Leon still wanted to wash again. Suddenly, something caught Leon's eye, a new set of clothes. Mayfei really was the best of the four. But the surprises didn't stop there. Leon froze again. There was also a magic stone and a potion on the table. Leon stared at the potion. Did Mayfei know something? The scene shifts. Mayfei stood in the great hall with his hands in his pockets. His eyes stared into the distance, like a statue waiting for someone. As a rumbling sound approached, someone walked out from the teleportation circle. Mayfei welcomed him respectfully.
You're finally back.
My great and honored Lord Negal. Negal really loves Leon. He came home to confess after only 30 days away. But who would have thought he once made Leon drink poison? Last time, Negal returned from the dimensional battlefield. When asked how long he'd been gone, it turned out to be exactly 30 days. He didn't care about anything else, he just asked how Leon was doing lately. This left Mayfei stunned. Even Negal himself was stunned. Then he laughed. Looks like that was a silly question. Of course Leon would want to escape. Mayfei said he wasn't sure what Leon was plotting, but he'd write up a report on recent unusual events for you. Negal praised Mayfei for doing a great job. You can handle the others coming back later. Then he rushed to Leon's room. Watching Leon sleep, he felt so happy. But just watching wasn't enough. Negal sat down on the bed and gently stroked Leon's cheek. He softly called Leon's name. Leon vaguely sensed something and slowly opened his eyes, finding Negal gazing at him with affection. The scene shifts to a memory from the past. Leon stared at the potion in his hand. Will drinking this really make me sleep forever? Something about this feels off. He asked Negal if this stuff was really safe to drink. Back then Negal was still so naive. He honestly told Leon the potion was poisonous, so he advised him not to drink it. Leon smiled. These days poison can be used as sleeping medicine. How interesting. Negal also smiled. Who told our Demon King's body to be so strong? How could regular sleeping pills work? This kind of poison can put you into a long-term death, like state. If you don't believe me, I can take a sip first to show you. Leon didn't agree. He trusted Negal. After all, he knew his own body, so he gulped it down. But the next second he regretted it. This stuff tasted awful. Why would Leon want to sleep forever? Because he'd had enough of life without Cliff. Now the same potion appeared again. Leon thought it might come in handy. But those four guys basically never ate. Sure, that black rat was easy to trick, but he was afraid he'd get eaten if he failed. But he couldn't be sure. Was Mayfei setting a trap? Why would he leave it right in front of him? Leon pondered these confusing questions and gradually fell asleep. When he woke up, he was totally confused. Why is Negal grinning me like an idiot? Before he could figure it out, Negal interlaced their fingers. One sickeningly sweet "I missed you," instantly short, circuited Leon's brain. Negal's sweet talk didn't move Leon's heart, so Negal took action. In the end, Leon still suffered. Last time Negal said he missed Leon with affection. This surprise sugar bomb caught Leon completely off guard. But once he snapped out of it, he instantly blushed, quickly pulled his hand back, and asked Negal what he was doing. You didn't even tell me you were back, and you came into my room without permission. Leon was a bit angry. Seeing this, Negal gently apologized. Though he did come in by accident, he couldn't help it. He was too eager to see you. After saying this, Negal asked Leon if he missed him. Though the sweet talk made Leon's heart flutter for a moment. His heart already belonged to someone else. He pushed Negal away hard. What's wrong with you? You just got back and you're acting crazy. You're giving me the creeps. Were you mentally corrupted this past month? Negal was stunned by the rebuke, but Leon's reaction wasn't surprising. After all, time flows differently in the two dimensions. In reality, he hadn't seen Leon in 2 years. Though 2 years is nothing for long-lived beings like them. 2 years without Leon felt longer than 1,000. Leon couldn't take it anymore. His whole body trembled. He told Negal to stop. But how could Negal stop? This was the first time they'd been apart this long since he met Leon. So Negal pinned Leon down and insisted Leon also say he missed him. But Leon just smiled. I don't know what you're expecting. Even if I didn't see you for 100 years, I still wouldn't say that. What are you gonna do about it? Negal wasn't happy. Though I appreciate your arrogance. This isn't the right time for it. Since sweet talk doesn't work, if you won't use your mouth, I will. In the end, Leon reluctantly turned his head away. Victorious Negal was as sweet as honey. Suddenly Negal noticed something. He lifted Leon's earring with his hand and murmured meaningfully, "You're wearing it again." Leon only wore it because he didn't want Negal to change the earring, so he had to agree to any of his demands. Last time, Negal asked Leon why he was wearing the old earring. Leon arrogantly said it was none of his business. But Negal wasn't angry. He said he specifically found a gemstone in another dimension as beautiful as Leon's eyes. He planned to make more beautiful jewelry with the gem, whether earrings or necklaces. Leon just had to tell him what he liked. He could make it for him. He hoped Leon would obediently take off the earring and wear the jewelry he gave him. But everyone knows Leon is the most stubborn person in the demon castle. One "I don't need it" directly slapped Negal in the face. But this time Negal didn't indulge him. He grabbed his ear hard. Leon screamed in pain. "Stop, I'm gonna scream my head off." He thought Niger was serious about the earring. Niger smiled dangerously. He said Leon's thoughtless rejection hurt him. Is that thing really so precious to you? This made Leon shake with anger, but he didn't know how to explain. If he didn't answer well, his ear might not survive. Seeing this, Niger gradually lost his gentleness and planned to take it by force. Leon immediately yelled no. He even said it 3 times. He said besides that, he could agree to any of Niger's demands. Then he grabbed Niger's hand and begged him not to take it away. This made Niger laugh. He confirmed again. Really, any demand. Amanda, I missed you from before. But you just said even after 100 years you wouldn't say it. I was speechless at Niger's nitpicking. So what do you want? I'm no longer the Supreme Demon King. What I can give you is very limited. But Niger had already thought it through. Don't worry, Leon. Let's blow bubbles together. Leon was annoyed. To protect his stuff, he had to do this kind of thing. Niger told him to be more cooperative. If the bubbles weren't good, the deal was off. Leon had no choice but to curse internally, but still politely asked if that was enough. But Niger said his demands didn't stop there. Tisk. Leon was completely unwilling, but still had to say what was asked. This made Niger excited. Though it was different from what he originally wanted, he still praised Leon for doing great. He used to be the proud Lion King Leon. But now GFA had tamed him into an obedient kitten. Last time, teacher Niger taught Leon pole dancing. But Leon complained Niger wasn't moving. Niger told him to spin by himself. So Leon reluctantly said wait. Niger still made him complete the difficult moves alone. After all, if Leon wanted to learn, he had to be independent. But the next second, he was upside down. Leon felt like he was really flying. But strict teacher Niger still wasn't satisfied and gave him a spanking. Leon yelled in pain, asking what Niger was doing. Niger explained it was because he was holding still. He was the one complaining about the teacher earlier. This answer left Leon speechless, though it kind of made sense. The pole he provided was too big. Leon was struggling. He complained he should just chop off this useless thing. Otherwise it wouldn't be so hard and uncomfortable to learn. Seeing this, Niger actually mocked Leon for being such an ass. It's just spinning around a pole. 容易. Didn't want to deal with him anymore. Everything sounds easy, but it's hard to do. Suddenly, Niger caught Leon. Leon thought it was over, but the next second he was crying. Because he was being played so much he was going crazy. Niger showed a satisfied, dangerous smile and told Leon to try a different position. And Leon successfully completed it without surprise. Looks like you can graduate now. Though Leon is Niger's only one, Leon loves someone else. Last time, Niger decided Leon could graduate from dancing. And at the start of this episode, Niger fell into memories. While wandering around, he met a being called God. God told him about a world formed from a pile of garbage, like a trash processing plant. And Niger's world happened to be the leftover remnants of a bunch of collapsed dimensions. He mocked that there was no worse place than that. Niger was just one piece of trash that flowed in. This made Niger very unhappy, so he tore God into pieces and trampled his domain until nothing was left. But afterwards, Niger still had some regret. He should have tortured that guy slowly while destroying everything. This shows how much Niger loved his homeland. At that time, he vowed that no one would ever be allowed to insult his world again. Everything should have been like that, but watching another shameless person trample the demon castle he worked so hard to build right in front of him, like kicking over a sandcastle. But more than inner anger, he had more questions in his mind. That person who accidentally wandered into the abandoned land should have easily been destroyed in this space. But he bloomed the most brilliant flower on this barren land. Even though Niger had lived through long ages, this was the first time he'd seen someone like this. He was the most unique treasure in the entire universe in all dimensions. Leon. For this reason, Niger always loved making beautiful clothes for Leon. He once made a multifunctional dress for Leon, but powerful Leon didn't care for it at all. After all, the protective shield and magic control functions were useless to Leon. But Niger didn't give up. He told Leon the dress was for showing off, to avoid some stupid jerks who don't know their place. Lord Leon must have encountered that annoying situation before, but after Niger's persuasion, Leon thought it made sense. So right in front of him, he started his transformation. Soon, Leon appeared in all black. Leon wondered why there was an extra horn. Niger answered because it's cool, but white would suit him better. But Leon stubbornly said he liked black. Should I change your hair to black too? To keep Leon's seed from showing, use GFA's pepper to plug it up. And Niger knew the secret of the earring. He just gave Leon excessive indulgence. Leon wanted to die Negal, but back then he didn't even know Cliff existed. Though he was a bit shocked at first, he figured as long as Leon was happy, that's all that mattered. If Leon wanted it, he could change anytime. But in the end, Leon gave up, even threatened to kill him if he changed. Then he removed his armor, dismissed Negal, and wanted to be alone. Negal didn't get it, but didn't ask questions. Just told Leon to rest well. Then he walked out of Leon's chamber. He felt weirdly irritated. Why are annoying things piling up lately? Life on this land started out growing wild and free. Though after ages of evolution they formed certain categories. He'd never seen anyone with such pitch black, noble, beautiful horns. Leon clearly hated non-human things. But he said he liked cool horns. Horns black, Cliff. Putting it all together really ticked Negal off. So ticked off he couldn't help but smirk. Time jumped to after their training session ended. Negal called Leon to wake up and drink some porridge. He gently propped Leon up and helped him drink to ease his hunger. Though Leon hesitated, he gulped it down anyway. but Negar noticed Leon was spilling as he drank. So his hand instinctively caught the drip. Leon asked Negar what he was doing, saying he was exhausted right now. Negar told him to relax and rest. He just couldn't stand wasting food. Leon was really tired, just said he'd chop it off if he messed around again. And the next second he closed his eyes and fell asleep. Negar couldn't believe it. He didn't actually want anything. He just wanted to plug the hole. Leon was fickle, but he always kept him around. Even though the source was annoying, Negar knew Leon's wish couldn't come true. So Negar allowed this level of rebellion from Leon. Leon's heat arrived. The juicer and the rat were both back. Last time, Negar slept with the seed plugged in. Knew Leon's plan but didn't call him out. And at the start of this chapter, the troops from the demon castle returned one by one. The moment they set foot on this land, they smelled an incredibly sweet scent. You felt it too, right? Heard it's coming from that king. It shouldn't be this intense normally. How to put it? Oh right, it's his heat. His heat came. Heard Lord Negar's trying to use him as a breeding tool. Even the deputies might get a turn. This little nobody got more and more excited, thinking if the higher-ups got bored he might get a chance too. Then the juicer Balai suddenly appeared behind him, and the next second the nobody got launched. Just as he exploded in anger, asking who the hell did that. Balai was already standing in front of him all creepy and terrifying. The nobody instantly backed down. He tried to ask what's wrong, then his balls got kicked in. I've worked so hard for that person. It's not as easy as you think. Just then, Mephisto arrived, asking why all the noise. He immediately spotted the crazed Balai. Enough of this circus. Mephisto snapped his fingers and Belly suddenly stopped, then collapsed to the ground. I know your sense of smell is sharp. This was bound to happen sooner or later. But you lost it earlier than I expected. And you lost the mask I gave you. And now you're just running wild, huh? Mephisto told the nobody to clean up the mess and leave. He'd handle things here. After a moment of silence, Mephisto told Billy to calm down. Then he'd give him new meds after all this time. Right after saying that, something caught Mephisto's attention. Turns out the rat was humming happily on his way back, swinging something around in his hand. Sure, second he saw Mephisto, he froze. Don't look at me like that, Diosa. Just hand over what's in your hand. Scene changed. Leon slowly opened his eyes. As soon as he woke up, something felt off. Look back, what's he doing? Why is this guy sleeping next to me? He's got his own bed. Just his arm alone was heavy, but with one move, Leon also shuddered. Turns out he felt that thing was still in there. And baby Leon was so mad. Sleep like this. Leon adorably wanted to strangle Negar. The puppy juicer belly is huge. Last time, Leon woke up to find Negar was still in, which made his mood worse and worse. Damn bastard, what does he think I am? But Negar was still fast asleep, couldn't answer Leon. Leon got angrier and started pounding on Negar. Turns out his own hand got swollen, but Negar was totally fine. Force is supposed to be mutual. Why is that guy sleeping like a dead log? No clue if he's really asleep or just faking it. But thinking about it, Negar seemed to sleep for ages after opening the portal before. Leon just quietly stared at Negar for a while, though it's weird. This is the last time they'll see each other. After saying that, Leon reached out his little palm, then immediately grabbed Negar's throat. But as he choked, Leon felt something was off. I'm crazy. At a time like this, I'm thinking about food. Though all four of them are pretty much garbage, this guy's the only one who always acts like a lover, which makes Leon feel even more disgusted. After all, it ends the same way. He's still just treated as a breeding tool. After choking forever with no response, Leon gradually gave up. Really didn't know what he was doing. Right now, he couldn't hurt him one bit. That impulsive act just now was a waste of energy. Just as Leon was about to get out of bed and leave, he suddenly noticed a potion under the nightstand. No idea when it rolled down there. Though Leon still didn't know how to use it. He believed it'd come in handy someday. He had to keep it safe and not lose it. With the sound of footsteps, someone came to the dungeon holding the beast. The creaking sound came with the cell door opening. You can't imagine what happened if the puppy and Leon were experimented on together. Mephisto created the juicer. Leon really wanted Billy. Last time, Mephisto came to the dungeon, pulled out a syringe without a word, then quickly jabbed it into the monster, all smooth as butter. Then the monster's body started squirming. Soon the collar fell off, and the monster turned into a human form. Billy, feeling better now? Billy didn't answer right away. He was crying pitifully, felt too ashamed to face Mephisto. Mephisto was somewhat pleased. Used his tentacles to bring over a chair. Wanted to hear Belly's apology. Said it was his fault for not wearing the mask, then losing his mind and hurting his comrades. But Mephisto said the reason he was angry was because Belly knew better. Belly tried to explain, but Mephisto said he understood. Took off the mask because it was too strong, and just happened to smell Leon's scent. But the main thing is Belly can't control himself. After hearing that, Belly had nothing to say. Could only admit he was right. Anyway, Mephisto didn't want to hold it against Belly, though those guys got torn to shreds. Jidala, they're still alive, but if Lord Negar found out, he'd definitely be upset. After all, from the start, he didn't want to give Belly any position. So my little Belly, if you still want to keep your status, you gotta work for it. I think you get what I'm saying, right? After lecturing Belly, Mephisto left the dungeon. Belly used to be his best creation, but this time exposed certain limitations. When they first met Belly, they were worried about population shortage because of Leon, though in beast form, it had intelligence. So Mephisto studied and transformed it into human form, then reported to Negar and put it into combat as a test. Worked so hard to get to this position, but didn't expect to fail just because of that. Now he could only observe for a while. If it didn't work out, he'd have to give up. You're back. I've been waiting forever. Mephisto asked Leon what he wanted. Leon complained Negal hogged his bed, and he couldn't move him. After understanding, Mephisto said he'd fix it right away. Leon asked why there was shouting outside. Mephisto told him the whole expeditionary force returned and got a bit excited. Leon heard everyone, but said he didn't see Bali. Mephisto immediately got interested. You miss him. Leon instantly got embarrassed. Every time that guy sees me, his tail practically wags off. So I'm just a bit curious about him. Don't be so full of yourselves, acting like I miss him. Mephisto told Leon Belly had some personal business and would be back soon. Leon huffed and was about to leave, but Mephisto wanted to keep him for a physical exam. Leon might be pregnant and wanted to off himself, but for Cliff's sake he held back. After a few peaceful days, turns out he ran into the rat from hell. Last time Mephisto wanted to give Leon a physical. Surprisingly, this exam was pretty legit, but halfway through, Mephisto looked serious. Leon saw this and asked what's wrong. Couldn't help thinking about a baby. Turns out Mephisto smiled ominously, told him not to worry for now. Thinking about this made Leon angry, giving such a vague answer. He got angry, his stomach hurt, and lately it's been happening more often. Damn, Leon worried he got knocked up, but overthinking was pointless. Funny thing is he's only getting mad about it now. Guess I'm still not ready. Though it seemed like Negal gave a choice back then. In reality, powerless me had no choice at all. Though I thought about using death to escape it all. But before finding Negal, I absolutely can't die. I need him to tell me why he left without a word. After pulling himself together, Leon just put on a robe and left, but another sharp pain shot through his body. Glanced down and saw blood on his leg. Leon looked so sad. Looks like time's running out. After his bath, Leon looked around. Found outside was quiet and peaceful, totally different from his anxious mood. These past few days were incredibly calm. Billy vanished. Negal slept. Mephisto focused on research. Rarely did Leon have this peace and quiet, but just when he felt bored, suddenly his body instinctively tensed up. Leon whipped around but saw nothing. Thought it was just his bad mood playing tricks, but now he was certain someone was tailing him. Weak little cutie, why are you wandering around? Turns out it was that rat from hell. Even dogs would avoid him. So did Leon. Didn't expect to run into him. Diaz saw Leon's face was pretty ugly. Not only didn't back off, but came closer. Scent is really strong. Leon snapped. You're the one who stinks. I just showered. But Diaz said a shower can't get rid of the heat scent. Otherwise, why would you attract so many flies? Leon protested. You're the beast in heat here. But Diaz wasn't ashamed, actually proud. Grabbed Leon. Then let me show you. Leon's really about to have a baby. Everyone guess whose it is. Last time, Diaz told Leon to be a gentleman. Leon actually swallowed the rat juice. Diaz mocked Leon for being shameless. This time I didn't even force you. Since you wanted so bad, wait till I get back for more. Leon turned away, didn't want to listen to him. This little firecracker look made Diaz like him even more. Looking away, he kept saying he'd be back soon. Leon plopped down on the ground. What the hell's wrong with this body? I absolutely wasn't looking forward to it. Absolutely didn't feel disappointed. Scene changed to Mephisto's study. Hearing the creaking door, Mephisto asked, leaving already? Bali nervously said that's enough. Or is it not okay? Mephisto replied, of course it's fine. If anything's wrong, he can come anytime. After Bali left, Mephisto fell into thought. Not long ago, when checking Leon's body, he found signs of trauma in his womb, though it didn't lead to pregnancy. And though the rejection was dealt with, the specific cause wasn't identified, so no real measures were taken. So they didn't take any real action. They figured it was just something about Leon's species. Later, the research described it like this. If the partners from a race with a short lifespan, then even giving up their own power, they'd stay with them till the end, something like that. But Mephisto didn't buy that explanation. He thought it had more to do with how many times they did it. Physical maturity. Or maybe mental acceptance. Of course, the best parts still come in. I set all this up for you. You're not gonna just do nothing, right? Scene switches to Bailey. He had a pounding headache the whole way. The seals on his limbs felt the same as before, but they felt way heavier than usual. Like his body was crammed into a box that didn't fit. Every inch of his skin felt this bone deep pain. It made Bailey think of Leon. Just catching a whiff of his scent would make the pain disappear. Suddenly Bailey seemed to hear Leon calling him, asking what was wrong. Are you feeling sick? Then a hand patted his dog head. Bailey actually asked who this person was. Lord Leon would never be this nice. What are you talking about, you dumb dog? I'd have to be an idiot to worry about you. Bailey caught that familiar scent. He instantly turned into a puppy and apologized. Happy as can be, thinking he was dreaming. Leon wasn't mad anymore seeing this. Maybe you're even busier than that guy. Bailey immediately said he was bored out of his mind. Leon smiled and said perfect. Then keep me company. Leon's earring was actually made from Cliff's body. But Cliff also showed Leon his real body. Last time, Leon made a move on poor little Bailey. Looking at Bailey lying there, Leon's memory went back to the past. It was when Cliff first put the earring on Leon. Cliff asked Leon if it felt uncomfortable. Leon sweetly said no. Then curiously asked why give me an earring. Cliff told Leon this jewelry came from part of his body. Wearing it means no monsters would dare come near Leon. Leon was shocked when he heard that, worriedly asking if Cliff was okay, then circling around him, trying to see what part it came from. A confused Cliff grabbed Lee. Why are you suddenly spinning in circles? Leon explained he wanted to see if Cliff was hurt, but Cliff told Leon to calm down. I'm not hurt. Even if I was, you couldn't help me right now. Leon immediately got all sulky hearing that. Sorry. I know I'm useless right now, but it still hurts me when you're injured. Cliff hesitantly reached toward Leon, gently rubbing his little head. Leon, Let me show you something. Cliff brought Leon to a black hole. Holding Leon, he jumped right in. The hole was really deep. It took a while before they landed. Leon didn't know this place existed. He feels so dumb. What are we doing here? Cliff told Leon to look over there. Leon was totally shocked. What is that? Cliff said you were worried I got hurt, right? That's why I'm not worried about my body. My current body is just a form controlled by my will. Even if my body gets damaged, it doesn't matter, because the real body belongs to someone else. Poor adorable Leon's finally back. Came with his dark obsession in Tal. Cliff slowly opened his eyes. Another annoying dream. Suddenly his hand rubbing his eyes stopped. Leon was lying right next to him, sleeping so peaceful. But Cliff acted a bit annoyed. Don't tell me he waited here for me to wake up. Cliff reached out his big dark hand, lightly touching Leon. A seemingly warm reunion after a long separation. Next second, he flicked Leon's forehead. Leon thought something happened. But seeing Cliff, he froze up. Why do you always sleep here? I gave you your own place. But Leon didn't care about answering. Seeing Cliff just made him happy. Though after a moment he got a bit mad. That's what you say after all this time. And why'd you flick my forehead? Cliff told Leon to stop changing the subject. Leon huffed, I don't know. Is there some problem? You never wake up anyway. If you don't like it, make me sleep on the floor. Cliff, never good with words, was speechless, wondering if this cutie had no sense of boundaries. He's gotten more and more bold lately. If he had any self-awareness. Cliff looked at the smug Leon. Seems like Leon never thought about hiding it. Cliff didn't expect him to be this clingy after saving him. Scene shifts as Cliff falls into a memory. Blood was flowing everywhere. The source was a giant black dragon. Soon, the blood started moving. Then it turned into a big dark figure. I finally created a human body. So even this one's still unstable. This sucks, making me look like this. Scene shifts to a mysterious figure's monologue. I don't know who invented the term necessary evil, but it fits you perfectly. Since ancient times, self-aware beings have been selfish, no matter how similar their selves are. There's no such thing as identical selves. Individuals with different personalities can't merge. No matter how you guide them down the right path, some will always stray. But when those selfish individuals unite, they become a force that crushes all evil. But if one evil could unite all the other selves, wouldn't that be better? And you, Cliff, are that necessary evil. Turns out Cliff gave the rest of his life to Leon. From then on, he lived as mom, dad, and husband all at once. This story starts with Cliff's birth. The god of Cliff's dimension created the world, but he was too lazy to manage it himself. So he created managers with power to act on his behalf, giving them his authority. Cliff and that guy were among them. For them, unless the dimension was about to explode, they generally didn't mess with the mortal world. But that guy loved watching the mortal world, and he used his power to secretly interfere in mortals' lives, gradually changing mortals' subconscious minds, until things got too big for Cliff to ignore. That guy said he meant no harm to Cliff. Blame Cliff for looking so scary. Using that as an excuse, he painted Cliff as an evil god, riling up mortals to take him down, and giving those hunters special powers. That's how Cliff got kicked out of his original dimension. Cliff thought he'd drift endlessly and die in the void. But somehow he got lucky and survived. Though with this broken body, could someone as powerful as him really call this living? At first Cliff only felt rage, constantly thinking about revenge. But first he needed to restore his power. So he used somewhere in the new world as a base, and hid his real body. Then figured out how to use this new dimension's power. But the new world had nothing. Still, Cliff didn't give up. Because this was where all the trash gathered. So it could make him even stronger. When heaven's about to give someone a great mission, forget getting stronger. Now even going out was super hard. And just as Cliff was losing his mind and numbing his feelings, something caught his attention. This was supposed to be a lifeless dimension. So how did life form? They even gathered and formed a civilization. Wonder if they could open dimensional gates. And the power to handle dimensions should belong to managers. Weird how this place has that power but no managers or gods. Getting these results in this hopeless place. No matter how you look at it, that's pretty impressive. Cliff actually decided to give up on revenge. Because if he got revenge, he'd really become the evil god that guy said he was. Better to just disappear here than be manipulated by that guy. At least that's a gift to the creatures living on this land. Cliff kept thinking like this. Who knows for how long? Suddenly rocks started falling in the cave. At first he thought monsters broke through the barrier, so Cliff went out to check. But he found a little cutie lying on the ground. Seeing someone in a similar situation made Cliff save him. But Cliff immediately regretted it. This land was way too harsh for weak life. But the cutie's will to survive touched Cliff again. I absolutely won't die. I have to survive. So Cliff gave what was left of his life to the little cutie, Leon. From then on, he became mom, dad, and husband all in one. Leon fantasized about Cliff's affection. Little did he know Cliff was about to leave. Last time Cliff gave his life force to Leon. Leon survived like expected. But surviving a land full of hungry monsters was another problem. After all, if they ate such a tasty Leon, all his efforts would be wasted. So Cliff decided to teach Leon more things, like his most powerful magic. Leon trained really hard, but after trying forever, he only made a spark. Leon happily showed Cliff. Cliff was a bit confused, asking what power he secretly used. Leon said it felt better this way. It worked, didn't it? But Cliff was disappointed. He thought Leon, who absorbed his life force, should be able to easily handle all magic. Turns out Leon's magic talent was terrible. Leon's safety Cliff worked hard to create a barrier, wanting to protect the little guy until he could survive on his own. This process took way longer than he expected. Cliff used to be alone with nothing to do. Now there was an annoying little brat. He never thought he'd leave this way. But Cliff felt lucky, because Cliff would stay by his side until Leon could live independently. But Leon didn't know any of this. He recently got into reading books, wondering why this was the last chapter. I can't accept this ending. I want to see them living happily. Leon got sucked into the book's content. Lovers' bodies pressed close together, sharing the same air, intertwined. He was just reading the words, but couldn't help imagining the 10,000 missing words. Every time this happened, his heart would pound hard. Then his body would start heating up, Cliff's image appearing in his mind, gently calling Leon's name. Leon enjoyed his fantasies, but after, he still felt it wasn't enough. Leon confessed to Cliff. When he didn't answer, Leon actually kissed him. Leon felt it wasn't enough, so he went to Cliff's cave. The closer he got, the faster Leon's heart beat. Cliff, are you asleep? I want a cuddle. Not sure if he'd regret. But Cliff didn't wake up. He'd been falling into deep sleeps lately, sometimes 3 days, sometimes even half a month. And lately it was getting longer. Whenever this happened, Leon felt so lonely. But this time Leon thought it was good, because this way he could cuddle all he wanted. Leon wanted to hold him forever. He couldn't do this when Cliff was awake. Leon lovingly called out to Cliff. Next second he panicked, because Cliff was looking right at him. Leon asked when he woke up. Cliff said, just now. I'm heading out. Don't stress about that. Leon grabbed Cliff. But wait, don't get the wrong idea. Leon wanted to explain, but Cliff said it was totally normal. Leon hesitated. It's not like that. I know this isn't the right time. But Cliff, I've always loved you. Cliff said, same here. Leon yelled, that's not what I mean. Not like a guardian. I want to be your lover. But Leon regretted it right after saying that. Cliff's face went dark. I knew it. Sorry. Leon didn't understand. Couldn't believe Cliff just walked away like that. But he knew it couldn't end like this. Leon rushed toward Cliff, grabbing him and forcefully holding him back. Even Cliff was shocked. Leon hoped Cliff would come back soon. Little did he know Cliff could never come back, because his nemesis showed up at the door. Last time Cliff responded to Leon's feelings. After their moment together, Leon fell into a deep sleep. Cliff silently watched Leon without saying a word, then turned and walked toward the cave. Cliff walked and thought, murmuring, guess it's all over. Remembering